Hello everybody, welcome to class today. Today we're going to be focusing on balance poses. So there's going to be some inversions, some arm balances, some standing balances, all sorts of things. There's not going to be a lot of instruction on the inversions like headstand and things like that. So if that's not something that you're super comfortable with or familiar with, I'll talk you through some alternatives as we go. But apart from that, take it at your pace, rest when you need to, and we'll get right into it. So start yourself in a comfortable either seated position or laying down, and we'll focus on some breathing to start with. So close through your eyes, take one hand to the chest and one hand to the belly, and take a nice deep inhale through the nose. And then exhale through the mouth. And again, in through the nose, feeling the ribs expand, feeling the belly expand. And then as you exhale, feel the belly deflate, feel the ribs contract, feel the chest fall. And then one more like that. Inhale nice and deep through the nose, expanding all the way to the pit of the belly. And then as you exhale, empty out all the air, gently drawing the belly button to the spine. And then start to breathe in and out through your nose. Feeling first your hand on the chest rise, and then feeling the hand on your belly expand. And then as you breathe out, feel everything flattening and contracting, pushing out all the air. And take a few more breaths here to settle into your space, knowing that a huge part of balance is being present. The more distracted your mind is, the harder it is. It's really good for getting you out of your head and into your body. And then slowly start to blink. Open your eyes, bring your hands to heart center, and bow your head down. And then bringing the head up, transition onto all fours. We'll take a couple of rounds of cat-cow to warm up through the spine. Inhale, drop the belly, reach the sternum forward. And then exhale, contract the belly, round the spine. Look to the navel. 3 more like this. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Bring yourself to neutral. Ground down through the left hand and the right shin. Inhale, sweep the right arm forward and reach the left leg back. Point all 5 toes of the left foot down and try and keep the hips nice and even. And feel like you're in a game of tug of war with the right arm being pulled forward as the left leg lengthens back. Inhale here. And then as you exhale, round the spine like you're doing cat, bring elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. 2 more. Exhale. Inhale, extend. Exhale. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bring the right hand back down to the mat. Kick the right foot off the edge of your mat and then transition into a modified side plank. So you can have your left leg lifted to the height of the hip. You can bring it down to balance on the floor. Or if you want to up level, you can start to bend through the left knee, reach back for the left foot, and then kick the foot into the hand, opening up through the chest, through the shoulder. If you want a bit of a neck stretch, you can drop the right ear towards the right shoulder, only if that's comfy on your neck. If you have a hold of the foot, slowly release it. Inhale, 1 more breath to expand, and then exhale, bring everything down to the mat. We'll take it on the other side. So as you inhale, stretch the left arm forward, the right leg back. All 5 toes of the right foot point down towards the floor. Take a nice deep inhale here. And then as you exhale, round, knee to elbow. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Last one. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, plant the left hand down. Scoot the left foot off the mat. And then transition into your variation of side plank. Either foot on the floor, foot to hips height, or reaching back for the foot. Kicking the foot into the hand, opening through the chest and the shoulder. If you have a hold of the foot, slowly release. Inhale, expand long. And then exhale, bring it back down to all fours. So feel free to stay with those modifications. We're going to up level a little bit. On your next inhale, you're going to step your left leg and then your right leg back to plank. If you need to drop down through the knees in plank, feel free. We'll take a couple of breaths here. Really push back through the heels as you reach through the sternum, lifting the lower belly so that you're not sagging into the lower back. And then on your next inhale, you're going to lift your right foot just a few inches off the floor. Exhale it down, and then inhale, lifting the left leg. Exhale down. One more each side. Inhale, right leg. Exhale down, and then inhale, left leg. And exhale down. Take the hips up and back, downward dog. And then looking forward, inhale yourself back to plank. We're going to add on. So as you inhale, you're going to take the right foot up, and then you're going to play around with first coming up onto the left fingertips, and then if that went well, then maybe you reach the left hand just out in front of you, or maybe you bring it up to the height of the shoulder for a Superman plank. Try and keep the hips even. Your right hip's going to want to drop. Try and keep it in level with the left. One more breath. You can always drop the knee if you need. Exhale, bring everything back to the mat, and then press it back into downward dog. Take a breath. And then shift it forward back into plank. So you know what to expect now. If you need to take the knees down, please do so. Take an inhale to hover the left leg. And then prop yourself up onto your right fingertips. Maybe reach the hand forward to hover. Or maybe reach it all the way up into full Superman plank. Again, trying to keep even through the hips. Balance between the foot and the hand. And then exhale, bring everything back down and press it back to downward dog. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose and let it go through the mouth. All right, we've got one little push down here before we come to standing. Inhale, bring yourself forward to plank. And then as you exhale, you're going to start to roll onto the right hand. Drop the bottom knee if you need to modify. Feel free to stagger the feet or come into full side plank with the feet stacked. Keep the left hip turning towards the front of your mat. It's going to want to roll towards the sky. And you can stay here, or you can start to hover the left leg like we did in the first variation. And then if you really want to up level, then you can start to bend through the left knee. Maybe reach back for the left foot. And if you grab a hold, pressing back into the foot. This is a doozy for the balance. 2 more breaths wherever you're at. Inhale, one more breath, full side plank. And then exhale, take the left hand down to the mat. Press it back to downward dog for a breath. Inhale yourself forward to plank. Roll yourself over onto the left hand. Take any modifications you need to on this side, but make sure the wrist is directly under the shoulder and the right hip's not rolling to the ceiling. Take the right hand to the sky. Maybe hover the right leg. Maybe bend the right knee, reaching back for the foot. And if you grab a hold of the foot, kicking the foot into the hand to open the chest. Breathing deeply. If you have a hold of the foot, inhale, release to side plank. And then exhale, bring the right hand down to the floor. And then from here, you're just going to shift forward, lower all the way onto the belly. And we'll just take a couple of cobras, untuck the toes. Inhale, peel the chest up, baby cobra. Exhale, roll it down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, roll it down. Inhale, peel up cobra. And this time you can either stay here, drawing the heels of the hands back towards your feet, or play around with hovering the hands off. Gently pressing down through the pubic bone to lengthen through the lower back. 2 more breaths. And then plant the hands directly under the shoulders. Tuck the toes, either with knees up or down. Bring yourself back into plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look towards the hands and start to walk yourself all the way to the top of the mat, bending through the knees. Take opposite hand to opposite elbow and just take a moment to sway side to side. And then releasing the hands, bending through the knees slowly as you can, rolling up through the spine, segment by segment, head comes last. And bring it to standing. We'll go through some sun salutations, so come to the top of your mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, right leg steps for a lunge. Exhale, plank. Hold the breath, lower to the belly, lower the knees if you need. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, step or walk the right foot forward. Exhale, left meets right. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left leg steps. Exhale, plank. Hold the breath, lower to the belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, fold. Inhale, raise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right. Exhale. Hold and lower. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, right. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, left. Exhale. Hold and lower. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, left. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, right. Exhale. Hold and lower. Inhale. exhale, inhale right, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale left, exhale, hold and lower, inhale, exhale, inhale left, exhale, inhale, last round, exhale, inhale right, exhale, hold and lower, inhale, exhale, inhale right, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale left, exhale, hold and lower, inhale, exhale, inhale left, exhale, inhale raise, exhale hands to heart center. Inhale, sink the hips back, reach the arms up for chair pose. If your feet are apart, make sure that your knees are apart and make sure that you can see your toes. The weight is in the heels and the shoulders aren't up by the ears. So wherever your hands are, it's only so far that you're not cramping around your neck. On your next exhale, sweep the arms back, raise the heels, balanced chair. And hold for a few breaths here. Again, lengthening the shoulder blades back and down the spine, active through the hands. Forehead is relaxed. Inhale, sweep the arms forward, drop the heels. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, raise up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, fold. Inhale, step the right leg back. Exhale, drop the knee. And then as you inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead, coming into a low lunge. Just warming up a little bit more through the hip flexor. And then as you exhale, you're going to push the hands down towards the floor as you raise through that back knee, coming up into crescent. Inhale, raise the arms up and overhead. And then exhale, sink a little bit lower. Thinking of drawing the left hip back towards you and growing tall out of the torso. Take an inhale here, and then as you exhale, you're going to take your right hand forward and your left hand back, coming into an open twist. And you can stay here, or if you want to take it into exalted warrior, then you can start to raise the right hand towards the ceiling as you take the left hand to the back of your left. No, to the back of your right leg. Two more breaths wherever you're at. And then inhale, raise yourself back up to crescent. Exhale, take the hands down to the mat. Step it back to plank. You can lower all the way, or as you inhale, shift it forward, lower halfway to chaturanga. Flip the toes. Inhale is up dog or cobra. And then exhale brings you back to downward facing dog. Take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, look towards the top of the mat, step or light hip hop. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step the left leg back for a lunge. Exhale, lower the knee. Inhale, raise the arms all the way up and overhead. And exhale, sink the hips a little bit lower. If you're in a slight back bend, inhale, bring yourself upright. And then as you exhale, press the hands down as you raise the back knee. Inhale, raise the arms up for crescent. Exhale, sink the hips a little lower, drawing that right hip back into the socket, growing tall out of the spine, lengthening through the tail. And the back leg is working towards straight. It may or may not get there. Inhale here, and then as you exhale, twist yourself right arm back, left arm forward. And stay here in the open twist, or flip the left hand, reach it up towards the ceiling as you bring the right hand down the back of the left leg. Twisting and balancing, not good for talking. And take 2 more breaths wherever you are. And then inhale, raise it back up to crescent. Exhale, take the hands down, step it back to plank. Take an inhale here, and then as you exhale, lower either halfway or all the way. Flip the toes, up dog or cobra, inhale. And then exhale, downward dog. Always feel free to skip those. We'll look towards the front of the mat, step or lightly hop. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. Exhale, sweep the arms behind you. Raise the heels, balance chair. This time as you inhale, stay up on the toes. Sweep the arms forward. Inhale, come all the way to standing. And then exhale, lower the heels, hands to heart center. Inhale, sink yourself into chair. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Shift the weight to the left, start to come onto the toes of the right foot, and then you're just going to cross the right knee over the left, maybe wrapping the foot around the back of the calf if it's available to you. Take the hands wide, cross the right arm underneath the left, and come into a wrap for eagle. Sinking the hips down, raising the elbows up. Take a nice deep inhale here. And then this time as you exhale, you're going to start to round through the spine. So think of hollowing out through the belly, and you're going to bring the elbows towards the knees. We're going all over the place. And just remember, if you fall out of it, that's fine. Come straight back into it. It's just a yoga pose. If that's the worst thing that happens to you today, you're doing pretty well. On your next inhale, you're going to start to come back to eagle pose. Keep the arms. Exhale, unwrap the right leg, and you're going to shoot it back into warrior 3 with eagle arms. Your left leg is definitely talking to you by now. All 5 toes of the right foot point down, even off through the hips. And you can stay here if you want to take it a little bit further. You can come into a standing split variation, bringing your hands down towards the mat to hover. Keeping nice and even through the hips. Neck is relaxed. 2 more breaths wherever you are. Take the hands down if you need to for balance. And then as you exhale, unwind the hands. Right foot meets left, forward fold. Give the legs a little bit of a walk. And then inhale, sweep it all the way up. And exhale, let it go, hands to heart center. So let go of that side, we'll come to the other side. Inhale, sink into chair. Exhale, hands to heart center. Start to shift the weight to the right, come up onto the left toes, and then cross the left knee over the right, maybe taking the wrap of the foot if it's available. Take the hands wide, cross the left elbow underneath the right, and bring the hands to touch. And try and find something that's not moving to look at, so definitely don't look at me. Take a nice deep inhale here, and then as you exhale, start to hollow out the belly, round the elbows towards the knees. Maybe they touch. And then inhale, start to bring yourself back up. Keep the arms as they are. Unwind the left leg and start to take it back for warrior three with eagle arms. Evening off through the pelvis, gently drawing the right hip back. Left toes point down. And you can choose to stay here, or if you want to dip a little bit further into the hamstrings, start to take the hands down towards the floor, dipping the chest towards the shin for variation on standing split. And then as you exhale, unwind, take the hands down, feet meet. Inhale, come into a halfway lift. And take it through a vinyasa. So exhale, plant the hands, either step to plank or lightly hop to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. We'll take a little bit of a balance here in downward facing dog. So walk your feet a little bit further than hips distance apart and a little bit closer to you. And then you're going to center the right hand slightly and take the right leg up behind you on an inhale. And then look towards the front of the mat as you exhale, come up onto the left fingertips. And maybe this is where you stay. Or play around with just hovering that left hand off the mat. And maybe you can lift it up a little bit further. Hold for 3 breaths. And then exhale, bring everything back down. Take the left hand slightly more central. Inhale, sweep the left leg up behind you. Look towards the front of the mat, and then as you exhale, come up onto the right fingertips and maybe stay there, or start to play with lifting that right hand off. So I find this actually harder than the plank variation we did at the start. 1 more breath. And then exhale, bring it all down. Look towards the hands, either step or lightly hop to the front. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, raise all the way up. Exhale, hands to center. Inhale, sink the hips for chair. Exhale, balance chair. Inhale, keep the heels lifted, raise the hands all the way standing. Exhale, if you can, keep the heels lifted, bring the hands through heart center and start to sink yourself all the way down, 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 down. We're coming to sit on the heels. And then you can either choose to stay here, just balancing up on your toes, or we're going to take our first arm balance and take crow pose. So bring the knees wide, bring the arms to snuggle on the inside, plant the hands, hug the knees into the upper arms, and then start to shift the body forward, maybe lifting 1 foot, maybe lifting 2. And then you can choose to keep it here for a few breaths, or if you want to take it further still, lower the crown of the head down to the mat, and then start to lift the legs up into tripod headstand. So if you're not familiar with this pose, maybe watch it first, and at some point I'll upload a more detailed tutorial. And if you're in headstand, we're slowly going to come out the way that we came in. So split the knees, Slowly lower them down so that the shins land on the back of the triceps. Push down through the hands, lift the head, and then maybe shoot it back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. And everybody, regardless of where you got, we meet in downward facing dog. Take a nice deep inhale here. And exhale. Inhale, sweep the right leg up. Exhale, step or hike it through to the front. Set yourself up for crescent. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, torso to 45, sweep the arms back. Inhale, we're going to come to standing on the right leg. So bring that left knee in towards your chest as you come into standing. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring the knee out to the side. We're going to start with hovering tree. So your leg's in a tree position, but your foot isn't touching your thigh. And then you can take your hands to heart center, up above you. Of course, if this is not comfortable on your hip, feel free to take tree. Feel free to have your leg or your foot all the way down at the ankle. And if your hands are up, you're just going to reach down and you're going to bring that foot as high up as is comfortable for you into regular tree. Then we're going to take swaying tree. So bring your hands up and above your head, part your hands shoulder distance, and then to the pace of your breath, you're just going to sway your arms from side to side. And then come back to center. And as you exhale, we're going to come out the way that we came in. So bring the hands to heart center. Start to slowly step the left leg back to aeroplane lunge. Sweep the arms back. And then you're just going to plant the hands down on the mat, step it back to plank, and then take it through a vinyasa, and we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Hold here for a couple of breaths. And then take a nice deep inhale, sweep the left leg up. And then exhale, step or walk it all the way in between the legs, in between the hands, sorry. Inhale, raise up crescent. Exhale, sweep the arms back, aeroplane lunge. And then as you inhale, come to stand on that left leg, bringing the right knee up and in. And then you're going to bring the right leg out to the side for hovering tree. So your leg could be up here, could be all the way down at the ankle, wherever's good for you. And then bring your hands to wherever feels the most comfortable for you. And then if your hands are above your head, bring your hands back to heart center, reach down, draw that right foot up into the thigh for regular tree, and then inhale, bring the hands up and overhead, shoulder distance apart, and then take swaying tree on this side, gently working to the pace of your own breath, side to side. And coming back to center, take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, we're going to come out the way that we came. So stepping that right leg back as you sweep the arms back into aeroplane lunge. And then planting the hands down and taking it straight to downward dog or taking it through a vinyasa. And take a nice big inhale here. Let it go through the mouth. All right, so we're going to add on to that. Inhale, take the right leg up. Exhale, step or walk it through. Inhale, raise up crescent. Exhale, aeroplane lunge. Inhale, come to stand on the right leg, hovering tree. And then this time as you exhale, you're going to cross the left ankle over the right knee, like a figure four position. Take the hands to heart center, and then start to sink down into that right leg as if you're coming to sit in a chair. So taking it into standing pigeon. Make sure that you're really active through this left foot, so the toes are drawing back towards the knee, and then you're reaching the chest forward. You can choose to stay here, or if you want to take it further, you can hook the elbows onto the shin. If you want to go further, you can take the hands down to the mat. And if that's going well, then you might want to make sure that you're not going to whack your head on the cupboard. Plant the hands, and you can start to bend more through the standing leg. Bring the shin to rest on the back of the triceps. Start to bend through the arms like chaturanga arms, nice and spread through the palms. Hook the left toes around the back of the right arm, like a little monkey tail, and then start to shift the weight forward into the forearms, and then maybe lift the back toes off, and then maybe extend the right leg back behind you for a flying pigeon. And then if you're in the full pose, bring the right foot back in. Right foot touches down. Wherever you are, we're slowly going to make our way all the way back up into standing. And if you moved on your mat, you might have to make your way back to the front of your mat. And then we're going to come out the way that we came in. So take an inhale here to ground yourself. And then exhale, step the left leg back. Sweep the arms back. Plant the hands. And then step it back. Take it through downward dog or through a vinyasa. That's really hard to do and talk at the same time. I got a bit muddled in my words. Sorry, guys. Take a nice deep inhale here. And then exhale. Inhale, sweep the left leg up. And then exhale, step it forward. Inhale, raise up crescent. Exhale, sweep the arms back, airplane lunge. Inhale, come to stand on the left leg. And then as you exhale, cross the right ankle across the left knee. Bring the hands to heart center. Start to sink yourself back down into that left leg. Taking a moment to establish your balance, shining forward through the chest. And then maybe staying here or hooking the elbows. And then maybe staying here or taking the hands down to the mat. And then maybe staying here or planting the hands, starting to bend more into the left leg. Make sure that that shin can come to the back of the elbows. Hook the toes around the back of the left arm. And then start to shift the weight forward as you maybe bring the left toes to hover. And then maybe bring that left leg out behind you. And if the left leg's extended, bring it back in. Touch down the toes. And then everybody start to come slowly all the way back up to standing. Take an inhale here. And then exhale, step the right leg back as you sweep the arms back. Plant the hands, your choice, downward dog, or take it through a vinyasa. Take an inhale here. And then exhale through the mouth. Inhale, sweep the right leg up. Exhale, this time step it right in between the hands, center of the mat. Drop the back heel, line up heel to arch for warrior two. And then inhale, cartwheel the hands open. Nice deep bend in through the front knee. Make sure that the knee's not collapsing inwards, it's directly over the ankle. And then grow nice and tall through the torso. Shoulders over the hips. Gaze is relaxed over the front fingers. and back leg is active. Inhale, flip the front palm, sweep the ceiling, reverse your warrior. And then as you exhale, we're going to come into side angle. So you can either come forearm to thigh, hand to the inside of the leg, or hand to the outside of the leg. And you can always have a block. Wherever you are, really drawing that right hip underneath you to make sure that that knee stays above the ankle, and really active through the back leg. Long line of energy from the fingertips to the heel. And then we're going to take this to balance. So bring the top hand to the top hip. Take the bottom hand forward and pinky toe side of the front foot. And then start to slowly hop the back foot in and raise up into half moon pose. So that top leg is really straight and really active. Bottom leg can have a slight bend in it. And the rotation comes from the ribs. So you don't want to crank your hips open. You want to think of the right ribs drawing underneath you to open the heart towards the ceiling. I'm literally in the cupboard. And if you want to further play with your balance, you can work around with hovering those bottom fingers off. Take one more inhale here, and then your exhale is going to be prayer squat. So slowly start to step yourself back, left foot lands, and we come into a wide-legged squat, hands to heart center. Take a nice deep inhale here. Exhale, sink a little bit deeper. Inhale, raise up, 5-pointed star, straighten the legs. And then as you exhale, toes in front of heels, fold yourself down into standing forward fold. So you can take any variation with your hands here. You can hook your toes, you can hold your calves. If you want to get upside down again, then you can bring the hands down to the mat, bend into chaturanga arms, and start to bring the crown of the head down towards the mat. Set yourself up for tripod headstand, and then slowly, with control, straddle the legs up. If you're in headstand, make sure that the elbows don't splay off to the sides. And then slowly, if you're upside down, splitting the legs, coming back to that wide-legged forward fold. Take an inhale here. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, raise yourself back up to 5-pointed star. And then exhale, warrior 2 to the front of the mat. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Your choice, downward dog, or take it through a vinyasa. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step it to the center. Drop the back foot, heel to arch alignment. And then inhale, cartwheel yourself open into warrior 2. Again, taking a peek down, making sure that that front knee is not collapsing. And then aligning shoulders over hips. Nice strong foundation through the legs. Take this time to catch your breath. And flip the front palm. Inhale, sweep the ceiling, reverse your warrior. And then exhale, bring it forward into whatever variation of side angle is working for you on this side. Try and be even on both sides, but if you've got an injury or you're just very uneven in the body, then take whatever modifications you need to. Lengthen through the tailbone. Crown of the head reaches forward. And then we take this up to balance. So take the top hand to the top hip. Take the bottom hand forward and pinky toe side. Start to slowly walk the back leg in. Try and keep the front knee squaring to the front of the mat, so don't let it wobble all over the place. And with a strong leg, come up into half moon pose. And again, bringing the rotation from the bottom ribs. So I find it helpful if you put your hand on your bottom ribs and then you draw them towards the front edge of the room where you want to face, and then spiral open through the top arm. Keeping all the length in the spine. And again, feeling free to play with hovering that bottom hand up off the mat, or taking the gaze to the ceiling. I'm going to make that same transition, so take an inhale here, and then as you exhale, step that right leg wide, 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 and then come into a wide-legged squat. So toes point out at about a 45, heels point in. And then keep the legs, take an inhale, sweep the arms up. And then as you exhale, you're going to reach the right hand down for the right ankle, getting a side stretch. Inhale, center. Exhale, reach down towards the left. Inhale, center. One more each side. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, hands to heart center, sink a little lower. And then inhale, nice and open into 5-pointed star. Exhale, heels behind toes. Fold it forward one more time, standing straddle split. If you wanted to open the shoulders, you could interlace the hands behind you. Bring the hands up and overhead. And then if you want one more time to go upside down, then you can press into tripod headstand. One more time for the day. Wherever you're at, we'll hold for 5 more breaths. If you're upside down, slowly split the legs, come back out the way that you came in. Take an inhale, everybody lengthen the spine halfway. And then exhale, hands to the hips, come all the way to standing. Inhale, 5-pointed star, reach the arms. And then exhale, warrior 2 to the front of the mat. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down to the mat. Your choice, downward dog, or take it through a vinyasa. And then looking towards the hands, taking the hands a little bit wider, so to the edges of the mat and a little bit closer to you. You're going to either step or walk through to a seat. So bend the knees deeply, get really springy, look beyond the hands, and then step yourself or hop yourself through. Come into boat pose. So options, keep the feet on the floor, take your hands behind your knees, sit up nice and tall. Next option, hover the feet, extend the arms. If you're strong enough and flexible enough, you can straighten through the legs. But I want you to keep nice and tall in through the torso. And then as you exhale, you're going to cross left ankle in front of right. Bring yourself into a nice small ball. Plant the hands just in front of the hips, and then you're going to press down through the hands. Try and lift everything off. If you can lift the feet off, Wonderful, you're stronger than me. If not, you're just lifting the hips and the bum off. And then set it down. Inhale, boat pose. And then exhale, cross the right ankle in front this time. Get yourself nice and small. Plant the hands, try and lift everything off. Set it down. Inhale, boat pose. One more each side. Exhale, left in front of right. Plant the hands, lift off. Inhale, boat pose. And then exhale, right in front of left. Plant the hands, lift as much off. Push, push, push. And then inhale, boat pose. And then exhale, bring it all the way down onto the back. Stretch the arms up and overhead. Take a nice deep inhale. And then exhale through the mouth. Bringing the heels towards the bum, setting yourself up for bridge. So have your feet parallel and hips distance apart, hands down by the side. And then as you inhale, you're going to peel the spine one by one all the way up into bridge pose. Stretching out the abdominals, stretching out the front body. So part of balance is balancing the sides of the body, getting a little bit of everything, balancing the mind, balancing the emotions. And then exhale, slowly roll down segment by segment. Take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, once again, you're going to peel the spine up for bridge. And then maybe you stay here, or maybe you ground down through the left leg. Take the right leg to either tabletop hover or extending it up towards the ceiling. Wherever you are, don't let that right hip drop down. You really want to press through the left leg to keep the hips even. And if the leg is lifted, take it down, swap it over, ground down through the right leg and bring the left leg either to tabletop or all the way up. Lift the left legs up, exhale, take it down. Everybody take one more inhale. And then exhale, roll it down. Take an inhale here. You've got two options. You can either come back into bridge, or if wheel pose is in your practice, then you're going to take the hands, flip the hands so that the fingers are touching the shoulders, elbows point up towards the ceiling, feet stay parallel and hips distance. Inhale here, exhale, roll up onto the top of the shoulders, and maybe this is where you stay. Reposition the elbows so they're directly up towards the ceiling. Press strongly through the feet, and then start to bring yourself up into wheel pose. And again, if you're practiced in wheel, you can stay here, or if you want to play around with maybe lifting the left leg and taking it up towards the ceiling. And then switching it over, maybe taking the right leg up towards the ceiling. You can do the same if you're in bridge. And take 2 more breaths wherever you are. If you're in wheel pose, tuck the chin to the chest. Make sure that the elbows stay nice and close. Come to the back of the head first, and then roll yourself down, segment by segment. And taking one hand to the chest, one hand to the belly. And then you can windshield wiper your legs from side to side, just releasing through the lower back. And we'll take a nice spinal twist while we're here. So bring the arms off to either cactus or capital T. Bring the legs to tabletop. Glue the knees together. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, you're just going to let the legs roll over towards the left. You might get a nice little pop in through the back. Try and keep the knees stacking and gently drawing down through that right shoulder. If you're really tight through the shoulders like I am, that shoulder will be nowhere near the floor. That's fine. We all have something to aim for. And then inhale, bring yourself through center. And then as you exhale, you're just going to take it over to the other side. So again, stacking through the knees, and this time you gently draw that left shoulder in the general direction of the floor. And then inhale your way through center. Take a hold behind the back of your knees. You're just going to rock and roll the length of your spine a few times. If this isn't comfy on your spine, feel free to just meet us in sitting. And take one more roll. And then bring it all the way up to sitting. Stretch the legs out in front of you. Draw the toes back towards the knees. Nice and tall through the spine. Inhale, reach the arms up. Hook one thumb on top of the other, and we're going to hold here for a few breaths. Think of pulling the thumbs apart as you grow the sternum a little bit taller. And try not to just puff the ribs forward. Try and keep that rib to hip connection. And then as you next exhale, start to fold it forward any amount. So maybe you grab the toes, maybe you grab the calves, maybe you grab behind the knees. If it's more comfortable on your low back, feel free to take the feet a little bit further apart. And just start to really slow down through the breath. Start to feel the body relax. I hope you guys can't hear all the dogs barking outside the window. There is lots and lots and lots of dogs in Chile. They're everywhere. And they bark constantly. Inhale, start to roll yourself up. And then take a hip stretch of your choice. So you might just sit in a simple cross-legged position and fold forward. You might take double pigeon, stacking the shins. So have your shin parallel to the front of your mat and then stacking ankle on top of knee. You might come there, or you can take it into Gomukhasana, where you stack the knees on top of each other, bringing the heels back towards your hips. There we go. Whichever variation is working for you the best today, we'll just take a few breaths on each side. You can stay upright or you can crawl it forward. Wherever you are, you want to try and make sure that your hips are relatively even on the mat. So if you need to bolster yourself, put a pillow underneath one side, then feel free to do so. Wherever you are, start to walk yourself up and just cross the other leg in front on top, whichever variation you're taking. And it's always nice to take a couple of breaths nice and upright and then start to slowly crawl yourself forward as your hips open. And then slowly start to walk your way back upright. Uncross the legs And then take any other stretches that you feel like you need and make your way into your comfortable rested position. So maybe that's seated, maybe it's lying down in Shavasana, maybe it's up against the wall. Wherever you are, close the eyes. Let the palms fall up towards the ceiling. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose and let it go through the mouth. And then start to release the control of the breathing. Letting it ebb and flow. Becoming an observer of your thoughts without judgment, without attachment. And take these next few moments to have gratitude for your body and all the amazing things it does for you. And to know that you are perfect in every way that you are and every way that you are not. Today, as you go forward, may you have kindness and hope in your thoughts, peace and serenity in your words, and joy in your heart. Please stay in Shavasana for as long as you have time for. Namaste.